Hey everyone, kind of wanted to make a quick video. Let's be real, it probably won't be quick, I'll be talking forever, but I'll try and make it quick. I was traveling recently and I kind of thought of a few things that might be really helpful to those of you who like to travel but find it difficult sometimes just because of your slightly less than perfect vision. Kind of quick little update on my life if anyone's curious, which you're probably not, but oh well, I'm going to tell you anyway. I got into grad school, so that's really exciting. I was kind of going through the whole process this past year with the GRE and the application process, and I'm in. So I'm really excited, moving on to some bigger and better things in my life and really looking forward to it. So because of that, I had to travel to do some interviews. They were out of state, and these are just some things really quick that I'll share with you that I noticed that could really make traveling a lot easier, or at least try and make it a little bit easier. First of all, I hate layovers. That is not something that I like at all. They make me very anxious because, you know, you're trying to make it to your next flight, and sometimes you have a really short amount of time. So kind of a couple things about layovers, if you have to have a layover. I try and make it at least an hour, just so you have enough time to get off the plane, find your next place, maybe take a break, and then you're ready to board for the next one. So give yourself enough time to make it in between flights. Because sometimes with other airports you're traveling in between terminals and you may have to take a little train or subway or whatever, I don't know what they call this, a little underground train, subway, yeah, sure, shuttle thing to the next terminal. So that's something, you know, to navigate a new airport, give yourself some time to do it just in case you do get lost and you're not dealing with the stress of trying to make it to your next thing. That typically helps me at least, but I avoid layovers at all costs. I prefer non-stop flights. I like to just get on the plane, and when I land, I'm in my destination and I'm good. But unfortunately, non-stop flights are pretty hard to come by sometimes. But I'm traveling by myself here in about a month, and I did find non-stop flights to and from my destination. They are the last flight of the day, but they're also the cheapest, so you kind of have to take it where you can get it. But yeah, that's actually with Southwest, which is kind of something else I wanted to bring up. This is for anyone in the US. Sorry if you're not in the US, but I'm going to plug Southwest here. I'm not getting paid by them. I should, though. Give me some flyer miles or something. Just kidding, just kidding. Okay. But I noticed with Southwest, well, not I noticed, I know this, you pick your seats. So that's really nice. If you're worrying, like me, I always worry about finding my row and then making sure I'm in the right seat, which side of the plane am I on? Because on some of the planes, the numbers, the seat rows are pretty small, and others, they're big enough to read, but that's kind of just a gamble. You're never sure what you're going to get. So I just like to err on the side of easy and pick my own seat. So that's nice. That's just something, again, just a couple little things that make it easier. Oh, actually, wait, something else I remembered. Nowadays, you can check in before you're even at the airport. You can print your boarding passes online. I've even seen people have them on their phone, so that's cool too. Saves paper, that's always good. But that's just another thing to make your life a little bit easier. You don't have to wait in line or deal with no, I guess there wouldn't be airline agents, people at the counter, sure. Or any of those kiosks, because sometimes they can be difficult to read. Other times they're okay, but again, it's just some things that can kind of make the process a little bit more smooth and less stressful, because for me, I love traveling and giving that up just because of my vision seems like a waste, and that's not really fair to us, you know? It's not our fault that we have visual impairment. We shouldn't have to suffer. So just a couple things trying to help make your life a little bit easier. And another thing, actually, this is kind of more technology, well, again, still related to not traveling. Nope, where am I going with this? Okay, get it together. I recently switched phones. I went from an iPhone to an Android, and I'm not even going to get into the debate because I am technologically illiterate, so I do not care about operating systems or anything like that. That's over my head. But what I do care about is accessibility. I want to be able to see what's on my phone and not have to hold it this close to my face. So what I did notice is I quite like the change. iPhone recently got, well, okay, I guess this wasn't recent. This was a while ago when they updated to their new operating system and everyone freaked out about it. Remember that whole thing? Okay. Well, those are dark days. We don't talk about that. Yeah. I'm making myself laugh. This is awful. Okay. Anyway, when they changed their screen became, well, at least, it became like a white background with blue text when you wanted to do things on it. And that is like impossible to read, at least for me. I think most of you would agree. That's not an easily navigatable. Oh my gosh, words are very difficult for me today. It's difficult to read that. So I really didn't like that. That was really frustrating. And mostly when I wanted to read something on the phone, you'd have to do the screen capture or screenshot it, go back into your photos, look at that photo, zoom in, then go back to what you were doing. That's kind of a hassle. Well, with the Android, this is something I didn't even know going into getting this new phone. You can just triple tap the screen and it zooms in automatically. It's just a magnifying glass. It doesn't mess with the format of the screen or anything like that. It's literally just zooming in on your screen what you're looking at right then, which is really convenient. You don't have to screen capture, go back to your photos, look at that, zoom in, all that kind of stuff. You don't have to do any of that. And sometimes those mobile websites, they don't have the little link for the desktop version or the full site version at the very bottom. And when you go to that full site, it usually does let you zoom in. So some of those mobile sites don't have that. And that's really frustrating for those of us who are trying to read it, and we can't. So this triple tap thing is really so awesome. I love it. It's so much easier to read my screen, which is what I need to do. So that's great. That's just kind of something I noticed, not trying to convert you to go from iPhone to Android, but just something I noticed that I find helpful. Another thing, this is just quick, I just thought of this actually. I love reading books, but as many of you probably know, reading books is difficult because the text is quite tiny sometimes, and that's really frustrating. What I used to do is with my iPhone, I would just take pictures of the page, and then I would just kind of carry my book around on my phone. I would just have it as pictures, and I could zoom in, and that's fine. Sometimes the pictures would be a bit blurry, and so it's a little difficult to read it, but I found an app. You can get this on iPhone and on Android, and this, I get it through, it's through the public library. So it's called, well, there are a couple different ones. They're just apps like e-readers, I guess. You can do an e-book. And so I use one of those apps, and you can enlarge the text, and you've got a book right there on your phone, and you just check it out through the library. So if you're interested in that, I'd go to your public library's website, and they might have something about their ebooks if they do that sort of thing, let you check out ebooks. But it's awesome. It's so cool because I used to have to, you know, it takes a lot of time to sit there and take pictures of the page, and then, you know, then you're reading them, and like I said, sometimes they're blurry and you can't exactly read what you just took a picture of, and that's really frustrating. But no, this app is awesome. You just read it. There's nothing blurry. You can make the text as big as you want. You just scroll through, and when you're done, you stop reading it. It just checks itself out after like 2 weeks or whatever. So you don't have to deal with late fees, which is nice. But yeah, that's just something that I like. The app I use is called Blio, B-L-I-O. I don't know if your public library has that same thing, but that's one that my public library uses. So I mean, it's a really cool app. I think you can just get the app and buy books anyway. It's sort of just like the iBook store or whatever on iPhone or anything. But if you wanted to read books for free, just checking them out through your library, you can use that as well. So that's kind of cool. So kind of the point of this video, this was something I was just thinking about recently, was this may sound weird, but I don't think there's any better time to live with a visual impairment than right now. There are so many things that we can do to make our lives easier. For one thing, I have to use my GPS a lot if I'm trying to find a new place. I don't ever have to look at the map. They just tell me where to go. You know, we don't have to read street signs or print out the MapQuest directions anymore and try and figure out where we're going. Because that's, you know, I think that would almost be almost impossible. It feels like it would be impossible for me because it's really difficult to read street signs, and it would take twice as long to get there. Anyway, the point being, GPS is awesome. These, you know, ebooks, that's awesome. Making the text bigger. Traveling is a lot easier. Maybe it could be easier. I don't know, but it's pretty manageable, I think, is the point. And so that was just something I was thinking about recently, is that we are pretty lucky to live in a time right now where there are so many things that can improve our lives living with a visual impairment. So I know it's often discouraging when you think about all the things that you either have difficulty of doing or you can't do, but think about the things that you can do in spite of your diagnosis, because I think when you think about it, I think you'll find there are a lot of things that you can still do or that technology helps improve for you. So that's just something to think about, some food for thought, and hope everyone is doing well and getting ready for summer. I know I'm excited for summer break, so take care, and I'll talk to you guys later.